So let's do this. Yesterday, during Winners and Losers, Brian Haydad, as one of the winners, mentioned the 10 finalists for the CSpire Conerly Trophy. Excited to let you know that once again this year, Tuesday night, November 29th, I believe, we will be there for the Conerly Trophy presentation. Looking forward to that. Here are your finalists. Jarvion Howard, running back at Alcorn State. Connor Fordham, linebacker at Belhaven. Delta State's Patrick Shegog, quarterback, good numbers there. Shedeur Sanders at Jackson State, also a quarterback. Millsap's Moise Tezo, he's a wide receiver and kick returner. Mississippi College's Marcus Williams, running back. Mississippi State's Emmanuel Forbes, defensive back. Mississippi Valley State's Ronnie Thomas, defensive lineman. From Ole Miss, Quinshawn Judkins, obviously a running back, and from Southern Miss, wide receiver Jason Brownlee. Those are the names. Let me give you some numbers. Patrick Shegog, quarterback at Delta State, has completed 65% of his passes for 2,480 yards, 21 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, back in the playoffs, first time since 2017, I believe. So that's through the air. On the ground, Shegog also the leading rusher. He's got sack adjusted 656 yards on the ground and 13 touchdowns. He's averaging 5.5 yards per carry. It has been a really, really good year for Patrick Shegog leading the Statesman. Shedeur Sanders runs it, but he is not a huge running threat. A year ago, he had 103 rush attempts for minus 17 yards. Obviously, sack yardage factored in.
Yeah, sack yardage takes away from how they used him. I've watched him a few times this year, and he's a passer, a true passing quarterback, but can beat you with his legs.
63 carries for 177 yards and 5 touchdowns on the ground this season for Shedeur Sanders. Through the air, he's completing 71% of his passes. That's on 371 attempts. Almost 2,850 yards, 31 touchdowns, and just 5 interceptions this year. And the sack numbers have gone from 35 a season ago to just 15 this year, which is a combination of being better on the offensive line, growing up with a better pocket presence, getting away from trouble. All of those things factor in. Look, you would expect good numbers from everybody in this group, and Shedeur Sanders absolutely qualifies there. Over 2 years as the starter at Jackson State, 6,078 passing yards, 61 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions. Jason Brownlee at Southern Miss, the wide receiver, has 44 catches on the year for 687 yards. That's a career high with 2 games remaining in the regular season. He's a big play threat, averaging 15.5 yards per catch and 6 touchdowns on the season. He's got to get 2 more touchdown receptions to match the touchdown receiving total from a year ago. Emmanuel Forbes, I was a little surprised to see the tackle numbers. They're low, but that's not primarily what you're looking for out of a cornerback. He's only got 28 tackles on the season. But he has 7 passes defended, which is the most in his career. He has 5 interceptions, which ties the most in his career, and 2 interceptions returned for touchdown, which is 1 off of his career high. So 2020 as a freshman, 5 interceptions and 3 touchdowns. Last year he had 3 picks. None of them went for 6. This year, 5 interceptions with 2 pick sixes mixed in there.
Mm-hmm. Nobody throws to him. Tackle numbers are going to be low. Plus, he missed a game.
I was going to ask you, are opponents staying away from him largely? Has anybody
especially
attacked him this year?
Since the A&M game where Haynes King came in and stupidly attacked him and he got 2 picks, including a pick 6. Yeah, people have left him alone. So the same thing with Martin Emerson a year ago. They don't throw to him.
Yeah. Marcus Williams, running back at Mississippi College, has 10 touchdowns this season. He is averaging 9 yards per carry, 910 yards on the season. How about a running back getting 9 yards a clip?
Pretty good.
That is pretty darn good. Jarvion Howard at Alcorn State. 3 years at Syracuse. Productive at Syracuse, but not anything like he's done this year. 225 carries, 1,174 yards. He's averaging a little better than 5 yards per carry, and 11 rushing touchdowns this season. He's also got 7 catches and a touchdown. So a total of 12 touchdowns this year for Jarvion Howard at Alcorn State. Millsaps, Moise Tezo. In 9 games, he has 43 catches for 609 yards and 5 touchdowns. He is also involved in special teams. He is their primary kick returner. Where do I find that? Special team. There we go. Returns. Sorry. 8 kick returns, averaging 9 yards per return. It's hard to rack up yards in the kick return game anymore. Quinshawn Judkins. 205 carries in his freshman season. 1,171 yards, on his way to breaking the single-season rushing record. He is averaging almost 6 yards per carry. He has 15 rushing touchdowns, which is a single-season record, and he has 1 receiving touchdown as well. 10 catches, 85 yards, and a touchdown through the air. On his way to, without question, being a freshman All-American. Here's my question for you guys. I think I know the answer to this. Is he first team All-SEC?
Should
or
be.
Is that going to go to Rocket Sanders in Arkansas?
Well, they do 2 running backs. Surely he's one of the top 2.
Are there 2 running backs on the first team?
Yeah.
Okay, well then, yeah. He's going to be first team All-SEC as a running back.
Yeah.
He's better than Sanders, too.